Friday Celebrity Interview.
Well, this is Extra Time on Gagasi FM. As you heard, it's our Celebrity of the Week. So I'll allow Mr. Mike McCabe to do the intro.
There's only one way to introduce this icon of South African football.
Yes.
Crazy, but I still believe he should be playing. I look at how he's looked after himself. I look at the quality that he brought to the field. A wonderful human being. A great ambassador for South African football. But I'm going to introduce it this way.
Yeah.
Opening game of the 2010 World Cup. Bafana against Mexico. The score was 0-0. An incredible through ball by a player that I represented. KG. Couldn't have fallen to a more educated left foot on the planet.
Yeah.
And the man with the educated left foot scored the opening goal of the 2010 World Cup against Mexico and sent millions upon millions of South Africans through the roof. Whether you were at the stadium, watching at home, watching in the taverns, watching in clubs, like you and I, watching on our own, just absorbing the atmosphere in a very dignified manner.
Yeah.
You had to believe that it was one of the finest moments in the history of South African football. Do I need to say any more?
I think you've said it all.
Siphiwe Tshabalala. Welcome to Gagasi, and it's an absolute privilege to have you on our show, young man.
Greetings, Mike, and greetings to Simto and the Gagasi listeners. Thanks for the lovely intro and thanks for having me.
But I'm still sure when everyone think about that goal, the goosebumps.
But forget about the goosebumps. You know, if it weren't for the fact that his football agent is a great friend of mine and still is today, I would have done everything in my power
to represent him.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
But thank you, Shaba, for joining us. And I'm sure Nala Hamba Kone, you've been part of the African Cup of Nations. You still represent Africa, representing that goal. And uhamba nalo kuthi nikuwena up to this far, and I don't think kuthi lelo gama and also that moment iyogishabalala ekuthini.
Yeah, listen, the World Cup is the biggest sporting event in the world, and I know for a fact that it's every footballer's dream.
Yeah.
To play, in the tournament, and to play in that tournament, 2010 home soil, first ever in Africa. In itself, it was history. It was a big moment for Africans. It was a moment where it was a defining moment, for Africans to show that as a continent we are capable. And we are ready of, hosting any event. And to play in that World Cup, to score that goal, a goal that has so much weight in a sense of, setting the tone for the World Cup, uniting people, bringing joy to so many people, and, making an impact. I mean, it's 14 years, post the World Cup, but it still feels like yesterday. I mean, just today in my WhatsApp, I posted a screenshot of a request from someone from Hungary, asking me to send a birthday shout out, also complimenting me on the World Cup. There's another one also from England. So there's many, and it shows the impact, and also having the global reach. It's something that will always be bigger than me, and I've done something that will outlive me. I'm eternally grateful for that.
This is Extra Time on Gagasi FM in conversation and Siphiwe Tshabalala. And also, if you look at Nedbank and also these teams asesele nakhona, and kuvamsile Shaba, you hear ukuthi players that used to play before, now financially they're struggling. And also mawubheka nakhona, those players, it's not just your ordinary player, but it's the player mawubheka that way in their pick ngekhathi zabo. And nakhona, when it comes to finances kuma footballers and how to sustain imali yabo besadlala, ama-stories anjalo sesivamsile ukwenza. How can we avoid this, especially kuyona Nedbank, because ngiyazi ukuthi khona imali ama-players abathola? How can we avoid such ukuze sizwe lawo ma-stories of players lose everything after football?
Yeah, it's very important and topic. It's a topic that we need to have like seriously. Because it keeps reoccurring all the time, generation after generation.
Yeah.
We encounter the same problem. So I think it's something that we need to deal with, and we need to be open and honest about it. We need to be teachable as well. Learn certain things, unlearn certain things, and relearn, because we all make mistakes. Even professionals from other respective industries, they make wrong financial decisions. However, with us in football, it's sad because our career is short-lived. So you make one bad mistake, then it's difficult for you to recover. And a lifespan of a professional footballer, if you're good, it's 10 to 15 years.
Yeah.
But the real life starts post your career. If you retire at 35, what are you going to do for the next 20, 25 years or 20 years? So you need to plan properly, and you've got people that have the experience about financial literacy that will take you through to stages of how to invest, when to invest, and Nedbank also provide that opportunity. And we also have to lose that notion that you must start saving when you earn more. You start saving when you earn little, so that it becomes a habit. After that habit, then it becomes a principle.
Yeah.
By the time you earn 6 digits, you already know that this one goes straight to investment, and then this one will help you monthly or daily expenses.
Shaba, something that is done in a few countries in the world, one of them is Belgium, where a percentage of a player's income is regulated. So it's not as if they have an option. So it's quite a sizable portion of the salary is taxed in a different way and goes automatically into let's call it a retirement fund or a provident fund that they can only get out when they're 35 years old, irrespective of how many years they've played in Belgium, irrespective of when they stop playing or where they end up playing. And it works incredibly well. Now, we've had a number of players that we've taken to Belgium, and they've benefited from these, let's say, forced savings. Do you not think that it would be something that should be considered here in South Africa, given all of the problems that we encounter and we see players encounter over the years?
I'm 100% in supportive of that. It's the issue which I did raise with some of the stakeholders.
Yes.
That, if we can have an arrangement whereby when you sign your contract, a certain portion of it or percentage goes straight to your retirement annuity, because
yes,
footballers don't have a retirement, so you must make provision for yourself. And also, when you look at the tax bracket, a footballer would be, for example, on 2 million per annum. A doctor will be on a 2 million per annum. A civil engineer, and what. And then when you are being taxed, you are being taxed the same because you're on the same bracket.
Yes.
But those others, they're okay because their careers are long term. They can survive. So you're likely to be on that bracket for 3 years, and then that's it. So the sort of first investment will help you in the long run. You also have programs where you're being mentored and channeled into business. But the advice that I normally give is you start your exit in the beginning.
Yeah.
So that when you in the experimentary processes, you get your fingers bent, you recover, you learn, and next time when you do things from an informed position. So the recovery is quicker. But when you do it from an uninformed, then you are bound to lose everything. And it's sad because the mistakes that we make, we make them thinking that we're doing the right thing, whereas it's the opposite. It's not like when you do a mistake, you are stupid or you are ignorant. You are bound to do that mistake because you don't know.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that can save our footballers, and footballers to live comfortably after, post their careers. We need to move towards that direction to live comfortably, not to survive.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Now we don't want to survive. We want to live comfortably after playing days, because this is it's a $1 billion industry.
Yeah.
And we all need to benefit, but we have to do it the right way.
Yep. Agreed.
This topic has been exhausted. And I know now, Shabo, so Pendule, I think everyone Ohlangana naye has been asking you about the performance of your former team, but I don't want us to look at that as well. But I want us to divert in such a way that if you look at Sundowns, has been dominating our SA football in our league. But what has changed that made the Sundowns it dominate Kanje, and what can the other teams do to catch up on Sundowns?
I am of the view that Uti Sundowns, they keep on reinvesting on their project, and it yields great results, and they reinvest again. They invest into their scouting system. They invest into their youth, and they invest in buying quality players. Irrespective of the price tag. And they're at the level whereby it's 2024, but they think 2026 already they are ahead. They always plan ahead, and rightfully so because of the success. And contrary to that, you've got a team from Stellenbosch, which was relatively a young team. There were at some point rookies in the PSL, but now they're doing really well. They produced great players, and they sold their best players. They made money, and then they reinvest into their youth structures. They keep on promoting their juniors, and their best players now are players that are coming from your BDC.
Yeah. So
it's another way of investment that is yielding success. They've got a trophy now, and they won the trophy without Umtetwa, without Mendieta, without Udupri. So now it's no longer about the players, the big names that are there. It's about the team. So now they've got a system now. So it's about putting together a system. Once the system is in place, and then the players they will know automatically, things will fall into place as well.
And I'm sure you in that bracket you kind of talking about the succession plan. And we've seen with the Chiefs in the back line, you had Utawa, you had Dutefu. In the middle of the park, we had Uyeye, Nawe. But why is it so difficult now with Chiefs to find the core structure of a team where you have the likes of Utefu pairing with Utawa, you pairing with Uye in our days with Kaizer Chiefs? Why is it so difficult to find those players?
You know what? I think it's a process. You know, after so much success, and then there's a change in personnel, players, technical team as well, and the building process. So that process in itself, it's gonna be difficult because there's change. You know, you have to try certain things to see if they work or not. And I think the team has had about 8 or 6 coaches since then, and it hasn't been working out. So it's about trying to find the right formula to make this thing work. Like I said earlier on, Chiefs, there's good players. There's good players at Chiefs that can help the team, you know, to progress. But it's not good enough. They must also dig deep. They must also push themselves. You know, they must understand the culture of the team. Being in that environment, it's an environment where, you know, best players, they graduated from that institution. So they must also want to emulate that, write their own name, you know, there, bring glory days to the team. And no one can do that apart from the team that currently is there. So they must push themselves. We can blame the coaches, we can blame management, but also players, they need to take responsibility. You've been given a chance. Do your best. You're not going to win all your games.
Yeah.
It's impossible. But leave everything on the field. You know, everyone must take responsibility.
Yeah.
We all love this team, including our fans. We don't love what is happening now. A best Chiefs is good for South African football. A best Pirates is good for South African football. That's what you want to see. You want to see growth. But at the moment, it's only Sundowns that's dominating and is far ahead of everyone.
Shaba, let me throw this in here because I agree with you. You know, a lot is said about the fact that Mamelodi Sundowns are so far ahead of the pack because they're financially so strong. I agree they're financially strong. But I don't agree totally that the gap between them and, let's call them the two giants of South African football in terms of support and in terms of let's call it history, Orlando Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs. I think that it goes a lot beyond just having the money to be able to buy the best players. You need to put methodologies in place for every single aspect of your football club. You said it, the culture of the club, the recruitment policy, your development program. All of these things need proper methods in place. And then you can compete with the best. We've looked at what Stellenbosch has done on a limited budget. They forced to sell their best players to maintain their financial balance, and yet, year in and year out, they're competing. So I don't believe for a moment, with the right methodology, that Mamelodi Sundowns will be so superior to football institutions like Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates if the right methods are put in place. Your thoughts?
True. It's not only about money as well. And you know, when you mention these two teams, they've got a rich history. So when players go there, already they must know why they want to play for these teams. You know what it means to play for these teams. They must fight. They must fight for the jersey as well. And then the coach will also help them. Like I said before, that it's easy to put a blame on someone, but it doesn't solve the solution.
Yeah.
Right? And this is a solution. This is a problem that needs to be looked at from a helicopter point of view. So holistically, then you are able to see that here are the problems that need to be solved. But other problems, they don't need financial solutions. Like you said, they need structures and systems to be put in place as well. Sometimes you find that the top is struggling not only because of the personnel at the top, but the foundation. There's something that is missing, right? The investment that you put into at foundation phase might be the right investment that will yield results at the senior level as well. So it's about structures, not only the first team. We only see the problem with the first team, thinking that that's the only problem. Whereas you might find that there's other problems, but the big problem is not there. That one is there because it's exposed.
Yep.
So it's about the structures, the recruitment system, the plan as well, the identity of the team as well, and also people knowing what to do, what is expected of them, and also they must meet the objective.
This is extra time. Final question, Siphiwe Tshabalala. Now you're dinner. A lot has been said ukuthi after Strode Baxter, after Ernst Middendorp, SA coaches, Chiefs is too big for them. And I just want to get your thoughts. Final question, and say, do you think Upitso can turn things around at Chiefs?
I disagree with you.
Yeah.
A local coach cannot bring success to. They can. I mean, we had to Steve Lapa in his first 4 months. First finals we lost. So we had a chance. It's unfortunate to see, things did not work out. The same as Umangete.
Yeah.
He had a project, but it was short. Maybe if he had more time, maybe things would have changed. But when you mention Upito, you now it's a different thing now, because you talk someone. He's a big brand, well established.
Yeah.
One of the best coaches in the continent. He's got the experience now, and his experience will definitely add value. Will bring lots and lots of positive changes.
Yeah.
But you also need to have that and support. There's also can be national team or anywhere. If you have the support and the backing, then you'll do your best. But I remain optimistic that things will change, because I'll tell you more, hopefully soon.
I'll tell you more. Shaba, thank you so much. And Mike, outro?
Yeah, Shaba, thank you so much for your time. It's always wonderful to speak to you. You're such a knowledgeable person. You've done it at every single level. And one day we need you in the studio.
Yeah, I've heard.
I'll come to. Thank you so much.
Oh, all right, looking forward to that. Thank you so much for joining us.
Cheers.
Siphiwe Tshabalala, thank you so much for joining us.